This will be my ultimate guide on Amazon Vine reviews. So what you need to know, the best strategy for Vine. And if you don't nail the strategy, it can F up your launch. I've done Vine for my products and clients' products a gazillion times. So I'm going to break it all down in this guide. So you already know that reviews are extremely critical on Amazon. If you mess up your reviews, it can mess up your product. So what we're looking at here is my entire Amazon OS strategy. And I'm going to zoom in over here to my reviews playbook. And Amazon Vine is the first step of this. So let's get into the best strategy. So there's a couple new things that are very important. So you can now enroll in Vine before your launch date. This is a new thing and it's great news. This means we can launch to the public and start using advertising right away after you already have 10 reviews. That is this year's brand new thing regarding Vine that I think is great. The other new thing this year is you can no longer enroll child variations separately and combine them to get more than 30 Vine reviews. Amazon has patched this hack. And by the way, if you want to access my entire strategy whiteboard, you can see the link in the description. So before getting into all the FAQ and what you need to know, I'm just going to jump to the strategy. All right. The TLDR, is Vine still worth it? And do I still use it? Almost all the time, yes. All right. So let's just get into step 0. Step 0 is send in some FBA inventory, because the cool thing is, as soon as your inventory is in FBA, even before you launched, you can enroll Vine. So that is the new play. And keep in mind, you can send in a small batch, say 30 or 100 units to start this process. So let's say you want to express air to FBA. You can do that right away. I would recommend doing that because your first priority at launch is getting your initial batch of reviews. So that's a cool thing. You don't need to have your listing 100% complete and optimized, but just a main image, title, bullets, the basic information should be there. It doesn't need to be completely infographics everywhere and completely done. Priority is getting these reviews as soon as possible because you will not get sales until you have some reviews. All right, that's step 0. Let's go into step 1. Step 1, make sure your launch date is set 12 months in the future. Okay, if you go in here to manage inventory, click offer, there's going to be like offer release date, and some categories it says launch date. This is when it goes live to the public. So just make sure, put this 12 months in the future. Okay, then you've gone over to Vine. Here's the Vine enroll page. And by the way, I recommend reading this whole page and watching their video here. Click get started with Vine. It takes you to the Vine page. You're going to see your products here. You're going to see your products eligible for Vine. Select the ASINs and you click enroll, click how many units you want. That's easy. That's self-explanatory. Step 2 is enroll in 30. I like to do 30. It's the maximum allowed. Step 3. All right, now we're waiting. Wait for 10 reviews to go live to be posted. This can take a few weeks on average. And then step 4, after you have 10 Vine reviews on the listing, go back into the launch date and set it to tomorrow. Now it will launch tomorrow to the public and boom, you have 10 reviews already on the listing and you can start advertising on day 1 with double-digit reviews. That's a game changer. So to recap, do I still use Vine? Yes. Do I think it's good? Yes. I normally enroll in the maximum 30 because it's all about getting 30 reviews in the first 30 days. When we hit that, it tends to be a good launch. So let's go over my 5 goals. Goal number 0, always have 4 stars. Goal number 1, 30 reviews in 30 days. Goal number 2, 100 reviews in 100 days. Goal number 3, 1,000 reviews in the first 2 years. Ultimate goal, hit 1,000 reviews with 4-point star rating. Then you have what I call solidified page 1 real estate. You have a home run product, collecting passive income on page 1. This is where the big profit is made. So a strong launch starts with getting those first 30 reviews in the first 30 days. And Amazon Vine is the easiest way to do that. I do have 3 more things that you should do in order to hedge your bets to have the best rating and the most reviews in the first 30 days and first 100 days, and to hedge your bets on Vine, because Vine reviews obviously aren't guaranteed to be 5 stars, and you're not even guaranteed to get 30 takers. So if you want to see my whole comprehensive review strategy, you can see it inside of this whiteboard. You can download this for free, link in the description. And you can also download my powerful launch playbook here in Notion. It's got all of my strategies. Just download it and implement yourself. Or if you want to hire us at AMC to implement everything for you, you can go to amazingmarketingco.com. We're a small team, so we can't work with everyone, but you can get in touch at amazingmarketingco.com. So that is my general strategy rule of thumb. If you've gotten value, if you found this video helpful, a like would be appreciated. Or if you have questions specific to your business, put them into the comments. Let's go ahead and get into the FAQ. What is Vine? I would suggest reading Amazon's Vine page right here. Is it still worth it? Yes, as I already said, I almost always recommend it. What does success look like? If you can come away with 10 to 30 reviews in the first 30 days and a 4+ star rating, that is a success. How much does it cost? This is how much it costs. I will refer you to Amazon's own Vine enrollment fee for the details on how exactly they charge you. Also, I will refer you to Amazon's own Amazon Vine FAQ homepage. So go here and then click Vine frequently asked questions. They already have tons of FAQ about Vine, and I recommend reading all these. So I've already read all of these. In my FAQ, I'm going to put stuff that is more strategy oriented that they don't have here. And for your convenience, I've put a link to that page right here. Am I guaranteed to get the reviews? No, you're not guaranteed. Here's an example of a client of ours. So all enrollments were claimed, but we didn't get 30 reviews. We got 23, 9, 29, and 28. You can see this easily inside of your dashboard. I would say this is typical. Can I add more units to an already submitted enrollment? Yes, you can within 30 days. However, removing units is not allowed. How long do Vine reviews take to come in? Amazon says for products enrolled in the $200 tier, the average time it takes to receive the first review globally is 9 days after the ASIN is enrolled, and an average number of reviews is 19. Personally, in my experience, I would say 1 to 4 weeks. It depends on the product. For supplements, be patient because people obviously want to use it for a while to get the effect or whatever it is. Some things you need to try for a while before you have an opinion, right? What are the eligibility requirements? Must be brand registered, must be FBA, must have less than 30 reviews. Here's a big one. Don't Vine reviewers tend to leave negative reviews? So plenty of times I've seen all of the Vine reviews be 5 stars, but don't expect all 5-star reviews. Vine reviewers are brutally honest. If they don't believe it to be 5 stars, they won't leave 5 stars. These people review hundreds of products and are quasi-professional reviewers. So don't be surprised if you get some negative, brutally honest ones. But don't let that bother you. I know it's frustrating, but never let random strangers keep you up at night. This is part of business. If your company never gets a negative review, then something is off. And if your product is good, you're going to be good long term. But for sure, they tend to be more detailed, leave longer detailed reviews. Someone may have said, some of the Vine reviewers are borderline idiots. And my response to that is Vine reviewers are real people. And some people, on average, in a normal distribution of people, are going to be borderline idiots. So if you intend your customers to be normal people, then some of your customers are going to be borderline idiots. Also, some of your customers are going to be 180 plus IQ people, but most of them will be right in the middle. Okay, this is business. I can't tell you how many clients and audience have reached out to me about Vine and how pissed they are and what do I do and I'm losing sleep over it. Listen, I get it. We had a negative review come in for AMC recently, and yeah, it stings for a bit, but this is part of business. If you don't want to be a business owner, go get a 9 to 5. All right. So don't let bad reviews bother you. They're going to come in. You're going to get negative reviews every month. So do you want to lose a couple nights of sleep every month when you read those negative reviews? No, you need to build up your negative review tolerance, or just don't read them and tell your team, only let me know on a need to know basis about stuff. Okay. I would highly recommend just brushing those off. It's normal. If your product is good, you're going to be fine. All right. So that's what I tell clients and audience about Vine reviews. Expect some negative ones. It's part of it. But if you do 30 and you know your product is good, it will average out to be 4 stars and above. Here are some examples of one. You can see there's a 2-star, a 4-star, a 4-star, a 4-star, a 5-star, a 3-star, a 4-star, a 4-star. So people aren't afraid to leave 4-star reviews, right? They're definitely not blindly giving 5-star, all right? But how do I make sure most of my Vine reviews are 5-star, Riley? Any strategies around that? Well, you can make sure the listing is good and clear. Simple as that. Follow my complete CRO playbook, including FAQ section. So make sure the listing is good, right? That's really all you can do. And obviously make sure you have a good product. But what I would recommend, if you haven't had your listing optimized yet, over my decade of experience in the Amazon game, and after 8 years of running an Amazon management agency, I couldn't find a good design agency that specialized just in Amazon. That's why I created our sister agency, Amazing Creative. We only design Amazon listings. We are an Amazon CRO agency specializing in Amazon conversion rate optimization. So I would recommend going through our team. Everything is made by Tom, 10 plus years senior graphic designer and copywriter, Amazon CRO experts. No AI slop, no outsourcing to Pakistan. It's done by us. For that reason, we're obviously not cheap, but we do have a results guaranteed, or it's free, because we are that confident our listings are the best. How should I set the price during the Vine campaign? In general, if you can, price it as low as you can, because Vine reviewers have said in the past, it's good, but not for this price. So rule of thumb, 20 to 30% lower than normal price. Now, of course, there is no one size fits all for pricing strategy. You should discuss this with your Amazon expert and do what makes sense for your product's goals. There are many factors such as inventory, your PPC budget, your cash flow, and if you're selling on other channels that affect pricing strategy. But for sure, as soon as you're eligible for a subscriber and save coupon, initiate that jet fuel if you're supplements or CBG, an aggressive 30 to 40% off subscribe and save coupon. This is really how you get traction and launch phase.
Can I re-enroll in Vine again later? No, this is a one and done thing, which brings me to, what if I don't want to do Vine? Are there alternatives? Okay, so yes, there are third-party product tester sites out there which have existed for a long time. The one that we've used for multiple years is FBAreviews.com. So typically, I recommend doing both to hedge your bets, in addition to Vine, to make sure that you get 30 reviews in 30 days. Also, these tend to be more 5-star on average, but obviously there is an extra cost associated. It's about $25 per product. Secret discount code right there. So you just go to FBAreviews.com. How it works is they're giving you direct feedback, and about 93% of testers give you direct feedback. And in my experience, about 70% also leave an optional, voluntary, not required Amazon review. It's a verified review because they purchase on Amazon. So that's why they are TOS compliant. Keep in mind, this is a gray area. Do tons of brands use it? Yes. Does Jeff Bezos love it? No. As a rule of thumb, I say if you're doing less than 150 units in sales per month, choose 10 tests per month. If you're doing more than that, do 15 tests per month. Because the normal average review rate for an average customer is about 4%. And you don't want your review rate to go much above 10%. So keep that in mind. And the cool part about this is you can do this campaign anytime if you need a reviews or rating boost. If our rating falls to 3.5-star rating, our first priority is you need to get back to a 4-star rating, or else your product is effed. So let's say you're doing 1,000 units per month. I would not do any more than 100 tests per month, 10% of your normal orders. And to do that, you would come down to custom amount. You would click that and you would order a custom amount of product tests and basically do that until your rating is back up. So I do have a few more FAQ, which you can find inside of this document. But for the sake of this video, let's move on to the next video. So that was just one part of my review strategy. So go ahead and click on the next video that you see on the screen, and we're going to get into my comprehensive Amazon review playbook, because it's very important that you hit all of the strategies regarding reviews to make sure that you get the most reviews as fast as possible and keep them coming in for the long term. So that's on the next video. See you over there.